Hello and welcome to the show. Today, we are going to discuss a very interesting topic and the Buddhist concepts of compassion, karuna, and karmic retribution, or the law of cause and effect. We have some material here, a fascinating dialogue record between a master and his disciple. This record is truly captivating, covering a wide range of topics. From a common struggle many of us have, the uncontrollable urge to buy things, like food, right, to the point where your fridge is overflowing. Yes, exactly. It links that everyday amounts to a much deeper question of what constitutes true help and genuine compassion for sentient beings. That's right, it connects very routine problems with profound Buddhist concepts, such as the nature of the cycle of rebirth, samsara, and the essence of great compassion. Our main focus in this discussion will be to explore these dialogues to understand what true compassion really means, as it might be quite different from our initial thoughts. Let's start with the initial issue, the desire to shop. The dialogue mentions someone who keeps buying expensive organic food even when their fridge is full, only to feel distressed later about the money spent. The master directly calls this greed. 10. A form of affliction, passion. In the Buddhist view, this uncontrollable desire, and the subsequent financial anxiety, is a feeling the master vividly describes as being tossed up and down in the great ocean of suffering in the cycle of life and death. He uses a very powerful metaphor of being roasted both above and below. The above is the burning desire and wanting, and the below is the agony of fear and lack of money. For instance, this is truly a fitting description. This affliction of greed naturally leads us to the next critical concept, compassion. The disciple recounts an incident where he felt he did a good deed by rescuing a small, near-drowning lizard from a swimming pool. He felt he was offering charcoal in the snow, relieving the lizard's immediate suffering, which seems to align with the idea of drawing our sentient beings from suffering due to compassion. But the master's reply is key. The master asks, you merely prevented the lizard from dying for now, but it is still a lizard. He points out that the lizard remains in the three lower realms, like the animal realm, a state inherently filled with suffering. He then poses a much sharper question: if Siddhagarbha Bodhisattva rescue you in hell only to keep you suffering perpetually but never dying, would you consider that true compassion? This metaphor is truly shocking. The master's point is that merely saving a life is not enough. True compassion must be Dharma-based, meaning it must be guided by the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings. The goal is not just to resolve the immediate survival crisis, but to help beings achieve fundamental liberation from the suffering of the cycle of rebirth, samsara. Merely keeping a creature alive might just be prolonging suffering in a different form. This contrast is made even clearer by the famous story of the long-lived elder, Attaining. In a past life, the elder initially saw fish dying in a small pond and physically carried them to a large river, believing he was helping them. But he realized that the fish are saved, but they are still fish. They still endure the karmic retribution of being a fish. He then changed his approach to a Dharma-based action. Instead of just moving them, he began to recite the name of the Buddha Attaining, precious peak Buddha, and teach them the 12 links of dependent origination, explaining the causes of suffering in samsara. The result: the fish that heard the Buddha's name and died were liberated from the animal realm and reborn in the heavens, a temporary and more fundamental form of liberation. The method makes all the difference. This leads to the disciples and our question: when I just recite a Buddha's name, can animals like ants and fish truly hear and understand? Do I need a special connection? Drawing from the Siddhagarbha Sutra mentioned in the text, the key is simply hearing. The master explains that the crucial element is the intention, the pure, sincere vow. He asks, Would you do this if you did not genuinely want them to benefit? The point is that the sincere good intention, the heartfelt wish for their suffering to end and for them to attain joy can generate a force on its own. It seems the goal is to help them transcend the fundamental suffering of their life form, not just to alleviate a temporary crisis. Returning to the initial problem of the uncontrollable desire to shop, how should a person deal with this fundamental affliction? The master advises against merely suppressing the urge, as that is only a temporary fix. He advocates becoming a wise person. A wise person clearly sees that constantly indulging in affliction, like perpetual buying, is actually depleting one's merit and inner Dharma wealth. It's a losing deal. Therefore, a wise person turns to cultivating wisdom, which is the true wealth. Even if you have nothing material, you can be like the tree spirit in the story, who simply guides travelers and acts that accumulates true, lasting Dharma wealth. The key is to break free from the vicious cycle of wanting yet feeling lack, being roasted both above and below. Finally, the dialogue touches upon some extraordinary experiences that point to the power of one's mind and state. Stories are shared of birds passing away peacefully after hearing the Buddha's name, or dead trees miraculously reviving after a bodhisattva's holy name was recited. Experiences that suggest the power of intention mind force. The text even mentions a scientific experiment where a lie detector connected to a plant registered a violent swing when the scientist merely thought about setting the plant on fire. This suggests that our thoughts, even those unspoken, might be sensed by surrounding life and even plants, potentially hinting at how a person's inner state or energy might influence their environment, whether the trees in their yard thrive or how loud their fruit grows. The core insight from this discussion is that genuine compassion is not merely a fleeting emotional reaction. It's a profound, wisdom-guided action, Dharma-based. Its aim is long-term, the fundamental liberation of sentient being from the root of all suffering, the cycle of rebirth, not just solving an immediate problem like thirst or hunger. To leave you with a question for contemplation, we've discussed how our thoughts and intentions, even the fleeting ones, can affect the world around us and shape our future outcomes, karma. In your daily life, how are you managing those subtle, momentary thoughts and small desires? How might the way you manage them be silently influencing the reality you experience?